Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about what is albedo and how is climate change affecting it. So this is an important lesson for physics and earth science classes and anyone who's concerned about climate change because it really does have an important impact on climate change. So what is albedo? Albedo is the amount of light reflected off of the earth. White things like snow and ice reflect more light than dark things. That is true. So actually white is our brain's interpretation of getting all of the colors of the rainbow coming into our eyes, our retinas. So Roy G. Biv, all of the colors of the electromagnetic spectrum, our brain interprets that as white. And black, that's actually our brain's interpretation of an absence of all of the colors of the rainbow. So there's no red or orange or yellow or green or blue or indigo or violets, Roy G. Biv. There's none of that when we're looking at an object that is black. Usually you see an object and you see like a black shirt. There's some light that's reflecting off of that black shirt, but not very much, and as a result it looks black to us. Alright, so why are we talking about this? Because white things reflect light off of it much more greatly than black things. And what that means is you get energy coming in from the sun. So we get roughly the same amount of energy. Yes, there are objections to this in terms of solar flares and so on. We're going to ignore that for now. We're going to assume the amount of incoming solar radiation for 3 different cases is going to be basically the same. And in this case, when you have a more snow and ice covered Earth, you actually get a lot more reflected solar radiation here. We've had this at different times in the history of the Earth, like going through ice ages and so on. And in that case, you actually get much less solar radiation reflected out. So it becomes something of a positive cycle in the sense that more energy is being reflected out into the atmosphere, which means that the planet stays cool, and that can be a good thing because we are entering into an era where that is not the case. Alright, if you had more of a planet that had some snow and ice on the surface of the Earth, we're kind of in this ballpark. We're getting in this ballpark closer to the third scenario though. But if you have some snow and ice covering the Earth, the incoming solar radiation is the same, but the reflected solar radiation is less because we have less albedo. We have less white snow and ice covering the surface of the Earth. And so as a result, we now have more absorbed solar radiation, absorbed mostly in the oceans actually. So we don't notice our air temperature rising as much because most of that radiation energy is being absorbed by our oceans. And that's really not good over the long run. And let's take a look at the last scenario. If we have a mostly snow and ice-free Earth, the solar radiation is basically the same incoming. The reflected solar radiation is much less than before, and this becomes a negative cycle in and of itself. We're reflecting less solar radiation, so as a result, we're absorbing more heat from the sun, which also keeps less snow and ice on the Earth. It'll melt Greenland, for instance, which will raise our sea levels and so on. So it is an important concept to be aware of. This set of concepts here about what albedo is and how climate change is affecting it. We could use a lot more snow and ice on the planet. In any case, that's the background for understanding what's going on. I've done screencasts on basically an entire year of physics. If you have any questions or comments down below, please let me know. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care.